We are live.
We are live.
Yes. What breaks my heart, sweetheart, I'm not sure what you just did, but
Because for some reason I just freaked out about the camera. I'm sorry. I just freaked out.
so what breaks my heart is when I see friends, family, even subscribers sometimes talk to us and they seem to be so miserable in their lives.
Yeah, it is sad. Go on.
But they don't seem to be taking the steps to financially change their situation.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it feels like, especially in family situations, you're trying to explain something on different things that we're doing to get ourselves to where we want to be, and it's like it goes in one ear and comes out the other. Like, I know family, because they can be real weird and act like, well, you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, of course, because you're always an editor to the.
But they will come borrow money.
Oh yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Straight.
And then the other thing is like when we hear people who've been doing that daily grinding, doing the same thing day after day after day, and then they wake up and they're like, "Gosh, is this all there is?"
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
I think some people are just scared of money.
Afraid of money.
How it works.
All right, well, let's talk about it.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, y'all. My name is Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, travel, and retiring abroad as we build generational wealth, right? So what are we talking about today?
Today, we are going to talk about 5 steps to stop being stuck financially and to move towards your dream life.
Yes. Hashtag retirement. That's right, y'all.
Yes.
But first, if you're new to our channel, then let me tell you, 6 years ago, Rick and I had a crazy wake-up call. We looked at our financial situation as we were getting close to retirement, and it looked crazy.
Cray.
But 3 years ago, we got our financial act together, and we went from negative 22,000 to over 800,000 in net worth, and we were able to retire. Yes. So if any of that sounds good to you, please hit that subscribe button. I know half of you guys watching are actually not subscribed to our channel, and we're trying to hit 5,000, right?
Yeah,
so hit that subscribe button and hit notifications so you know when we go live.
Yes, please.
Right? Hey, y'all. I see you in the chat. I see you. I love you guys. You guys are so on point.
You're the best.
Action VJ telling people to like. I just love you. So we've got the best subscribers. We've got the best community. So before we get started in the 5 steps, what I wanted to tell those folks who are watching, who are from the African diaspora, we do have a Facebook group. You guys asked for it. We've got it going. It is Our Black Utopia, Fire Over 50. And we are bringing in someone from Serenity, Portugal to talk about healthcare. You asked for it. We got it. And they're only going to be talking to folks in that Facebook group. And at the end of the month, right, we've got 3 ladies who are coming on to talk about healthcare. So you guys, we're listening.
It's going to be good stuff.
Yes.
Very, very good
we
stuff.
are listening. Healthcare in Portugal. So let's get to these 5 steps, right? Because that first one, was the key. And we've been talking about this, you and I, for a very, very long time. We talked about it last week, but I mean, for years we've been talking about this.
So we got to give credit to Tiffany.
Yeah.
I do not want to ruin her last name.
I know. It's kind of Alice. I believe you pronounce it Alice.
Tiffany Alice.
The Budgetnista.
The Budgetnista.
All right. What'd she say?
She said, if you had Oprah Winfrey money, what would you do? How would things change for you?
Yes. What would you do differently in your life today if money was not an issue? And so when I thought about this, I know at first we wanted to buy a Winnebago and travel around. And it's a Winnebago because my 5th grade teacher used a Winnebago, not any other brand, and travel around the United States. Actually, we were thinking about an Airstream too.
Yeah.
Travel around the United States, doing documentaries, filming, meeting people, and doing all. That was our dream, right? That was what we thought we would do if money was not an issue. What else?
That was our why.
Yeah.
But there was one of the things that was our why.
So travel was the big thing.
Oh yeah. We wanted to travel. Also doing that, we also wanted to travel the world. We wanted to experience all the different places in the world that was safe and fun to go to.
Especially after we came back from South Africa.
Yes.
That just kind of opened up the world to us. So when she's asking, What would you do if money were not an issue? What she's getting you to think about is why. Why should you take this journey to get a hold of your finances? And so we're going to ask you, what is your why? If money is not an issue, if you had Oprah Winfrey money today, what would you do differently? Let's see, put it in the chat, and we're going to see who is watching today. So I don't know. La Cubana, we just love you. You were here at 6 o'clock, you and Auntie Trey. I'm not even sure if y'all are still watching, if you're still here. Hey, Monica. Yes, catching us live for the first time.
All
Yay.
right.
Love it. Hey, Trey from New Jersey. Action BJ, you know I had to shout you out. I had to shout you out. Chandra, I hope this is
Hey,
the lady
Chandra.
that I met last night at Black in Portugal. We didn't sing.
No,
we didn't sing last night.
We just listened to everybody else.
Yes.
And had conversations with some great people.
Yes. Killer Queen. I was looking for you. Still here in Lisbon. Great. I was looking for you on Facebook or not Facebook, but YouTube to see. But there's too many killer queens out there.
There's a lot of killer queens.
There's a lot of killer queens. Yeah. So, hey, Greta, good to see you.
Greta.
And Cassandra, I didn't know you were in SoCal. I didn't know that. So glad you're in the Facebook group. Definitely. Hello, Carla.
Hey, Carla. How you doing?
And
Shauna.
Yes. Happy Sunday to you too. And I think I saw you yesterday on Stephanie's. I think that was you in the chat. Hello, Winnie and Vicky. Hey, Creativity Reigns. I love your name.
Love that name.
Yeah. Yes. Love that name. Hey, Barbara. Good to see you. Meriton Martin. I wonder, is it Martin? Je ne sais pas. I don't know. Yo no sé. Speaking a lot of languages here. Hey, Kenya. Okay. I now have friends from college asking me questions about moving abroad. That Black migration is starting to happen.
Yeah, truly.
Go to where you feel safe. Go to a place that brings you joy. Go to a place where you're not experiencing microaggressions every single day. It's hard out here, folks, and life is entirely too short. Hey, Phyllis, good to see you.
Hey, Phyllis.
Yes. Hey, Kay and Valerina. Mocha Mosaic. I know that was you. I knew that was you. Hey, y'all. And thank you. I did get your WhatsApp. So thank you. VP.
Yes,
I love it. I love it. Okay. So Valerina says, I ask myself that question all the time and I never get past quitting my job. Well, okay. You know, that in and of itself is a big step. And I remember when I made the decision to quit my job, he had not made the decision yet, but it was December 2021. And I was sitting in the hospital with my dad and getting texts from my ex-boss, from my former boss. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm miserable. I'm so unhappy. I was just like kind of crying.
Yeah, you were crying when you called me.
See? And so basically we had to figure out a way to speed up that process from a year to a few months. The thing about it was we looked at our money. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in step 2. But yeah, quitting the job was a big step. Yeah. Once we decided that, because once I told you I want to quit, because I remember you saying, I was like, look, this is too much. And we're like, well, we just got to do what we got to do. And I'm like, no, I don't. I can't do all this. I can't take care of dad and work 70 hours a week and do anything else. Like, yeah. I couldn't even do that properly.
You had a whole lot going on.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So when I decided to quit, so how did you come to that? Because we never really talked about it.
You know, I got tired of clients. I just got sick of it. It was like, it seemed like, and maybe that was telling me it's time to go because they became more and more irritating. And I'm very good dealing with people and helping them out and making things happen because, I mean, that's the business I was in. That meeting, conference, dealing with, I worked with a lot of executive assistants And I always knew how to make them feel warm and fuzzy and make them shine in front of their bosses. That's the biggest thing I had to do. But it seemed like it got more and more difficult.
All I know is that at 2 o'clock in the morning, your eyes were open and you were thinking about emails that you
Yeah,
hadn't answered. And that's
because I wanted to make sure that, that morning, that at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, when I walked in the doors to my office, that they had everything that they needed.
now here's the bad part about it. We're gonna tell some business today. We're gonna be transparent. So when we were moving here to Portugal, I was going through all of the old files and throwing things away, and I was shredding. Yeah, we had tax returns and stuff from the early 2000s, still in boxes, talking about, but we were so past the 7 years, it wasn't even crazy. But I was looking at old tax returns and W-4s. Is it the W-4 that you get or the W-2,
W
whatever,
2.
from the government or from your job, right? He had gotten a decrease in pay from 2012 to
Yeah, when
2022.
we switched companies.
He was making less money and doing more work. Now tell me how that is fair. And if you are dealing with this in America, it is BS. It is BS. Quit that job, quit that job, quit that job, quit that job. Find a way. And we will talk about how we did. All right. So Shauna says, I would travel more often and purchase property abroad.
There you go.
All right.
Yes.
I have Tiffany's book, The Budget Need. Yes, it's excellent.
It
If
is.
y'all don't have it, it is in the description below. There's a link to buy that, as well as Rich and Regular's book. I would live life on my own terms. That's the thing. And so, and what does that mean to you, right? And so Stephanie Perry and Rashida Dow, you guys know that they're my mentors, and they say you really don't know yourself until you are not burdened with day-to-day responsibilities, right?
Yeah, you have to be out there and not worried about everything and anything else.
So have you learned anything new about yourself yet?
Uh,
This is still kind of new
yeah,
for
I mean,
us.
I'm still learning a lot. I like not. I'm still waking up early, and
I ain't.
I gotta get used to just not because I have to be somewhere or anything like that. It's just my um, internal clock just wakes me up. But I go back to sleep most of the time.
So waking up without an alarm, y'all, I love it. I love it. But more than that, to me, life on our own terms. So we went to dinner with some friends of ours about 2 weeks ago, and one of the friends happened to be white. And he's doing business in Africa and this and that and the other. So he has an interesting perspective, but he had never heard the friend who introduced us talk about racism. And so the three of us are there and we're talking about the racism in the United States, racism here in Portugal, racism around the world, blah, blah, blah. It's everywhere. We know that. Some places worse than others. And he said, I've never heard our friend, I'm not going to say her name, talk about this. And I said, well, I usually don't talk about this in mixed company. He says, interesting. So why do you feel comfortable on doing it now, Auntie Trey? Because I told him, because I don't need you. I don't need you to sign a paycheck from me. I don't need you to be a client. All I need for you is to treat me like a human being in this interaction of breaking bread. That's all I need, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be a friend, I can be a friend. But I don't need you for anything that has to do with my survival.
Right.
And so I'm going to say what I want to say. Living life on your own terms. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Southern Rose. I love it. I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. Everyone is here. So the question is, if you had Oprah Winfrey money, what would you be doing differently? And Vanessa said, I would travel year round, right? I would travel year round. I buy investment properties. I saw that, and retire abroad. I was initially embarrassed to say that I want to continue working because I like it. I realized I could travel and still work.
Yeah.
We know people who have like dream jobs. My stepmother is one of them. She works for a man that I know. Our whole family knows. At one time, I considered him a family friend. He values her. She makes a ton of money. It's cush. Do it,
Yeah.
baby. If that's what brings you
That's what brings you
joy,
joy.
do it.
Yeah.
But I ain't never had no job like that. I just haven't. I would have condos in different countries and just bounce around the globe.
There you go.
So one of our goals here in Portugal is to buy a piece of property, maybe even a building with some friends, and we each take an apartment. But for our portion, we want to pay cash. So that is our goal,
Right.
to pay cash for a piece of property.
Right.
So Vicky says, if I had Oprah Winfrey money, I would move out of the USA immediately. I hear you. I hear you.
It's a big world out there.
Different Chandra, but hopefully one day we'll meet at karaoke. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it was Mosaic. It was Mocha Mosaic, who's the Chandra from last night. She spells her name a little bit differently. I think it's Chandria. So I maybe shouldn't be saying your name online here. Hey, Professor. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yep. Okay, there she is. All right. I'd get a golden visa for Portugal. All right. Yes. Right. I'm just saying. Because right now, y'all know we are waiting for the answer for our D7. And perhaps it would have gone quicker if we just plopped down $500,000. I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, I'm sure it would have.
Yes. So Kay says she would travel, and give to one of her favorite charities. You know, that too is a thing. So question, when do you tell your family I'm moving abroad? So we're going to get to any questions about Portugal. We'll get to at the end. We will, folks. Whenever you want. If it's someone who you think is going to spend their time campaigning against you, at the last minute. But I had to give Gloria Benson, my mom, I had to get her ready.
Yeah, I mean, you talk to. I mean, my sister was all for different things, anything that I want to do. No one can stop you from doing what you want to do, but there's always the questions. Well, what if? What if? What if? Well, isn't it this way over there? Isn't it that way down there in Mexico?
Is it safe?
Is it safe? So what do you do if? And it's like, I really, really appreciate the concern and the thoughts and stuff like that, but you never asked me that kind of stuff when I was here.
Or moved from California to Colorado, right? Like nobody tripped off of that.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit.
You have to do what you have to do. You have to be happy.
Yes. So it's so important. It was so important for us to find our why. And so this is going to take us to step 2, which allowed us to quit our jobs, right? So we had to evaluate how much money we were spending on things other than necessities. And so when we say necessities, what are we talking about?
You're talking about your housing, your food, your transportation, and your medical.
Right. Healthcare, medical, whatever, however you want to say it, right? So those 4 things are what we consider necessities, what you need to actually survive on this planet or in the developed world anyway, right? Because transportation, maybe not so much in some places, but there are folks out there who are giving budgeting ideas, and they're talking about the 50-30-20 stuff. I say BS on the 50-30-20 budget. BS.
Boy, Elizabeth Warren wouldn't be happy with you right now.
Well, and I voted for her, but
she's the one that made that really famous.
Well, I didn't know that.
Campaign speech,
really? So in the 50-30-20, what they say, well, maybe she was talking about 50% of the U.S. budget. I don't know. What they say is 50% should go towards necessities. 30% should go towards whatever you want or whatever, and 20% saving. If you want to retire at 67 years old, save 20%. If you want to retire ASAP, save 50%. We were saving 60%. So save 50%, spend 30% on the necessities, and 20% on, hell yeah, let's do that right now. Or whatever else you want, right? Well, I mean, that is an old-fashioned way of thinking about things, that 50-30-20, the other way, where you're only saving 10%, 20%. And that just does not work if you want freedom. I look at money as every dollar is a minute of freedom, an hour of freedom, or whatever.
Yeah.
Freedom to say what you want, freedom to live life on your own terms, freedom to tell maybe a friend that I don't need you. So yeah. Is that bonus room new? Yes. Yes. This is the third bedroom that we cleared out. So welcome. This is our first show in our new studio.
Yeah.
You will see it evolve. So thank you.
Yes, definitely. We got to still do stuff with the walls and put some artwork and good stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So we're getting it together, but you can come for that. So step 2 is to look at your spending. When we looked at our spending, what did we find?
We found that we were spending a whole lot of money on very, very, very unnecessary stuff.
$1,000 eating out.
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 we were spending per month eating out. Now, $12,000 a year put into an investment account every year, once a month, that $1,000. Especially now. I mean, you're right, because the market is on sale.
The market is seriously on sale.
Right. We would be in such a different place if we spent those 10, 20 years. Well, we weren't always spending that much, but near the end, 2017, 2018, it was out of control. And we would say things like, well, we deserve this. I'm tired. I've been working all day. I don't feel like cooking. Let's just order in. Right. And we didn't really have a concrete why. We had not crystallized that in our mind. We hadn't said, yes, we want to travel. We want to travel all the time. We want to quit our jobs and travel and do, documentaries or whatever. We didn't really think that that was possible.
No.
I know I didn't. I did not really think that that was possible until I learned about financial independence. Right? Retire early, the FIRE movement. Yeah. So one of the other things that the Budgetista said is you should think about your money a little bit differently, right? I already said, I think about money as freedom. Right. Freedom to live your life on your terms. So she said, needs, love, likes, and wants. Needs. We've talked about that. Housing, transportation, healthcare, food. Wants. Now, wants or love. Love is your why. What do you love to do? If you had Oprah Winfrey money, what would you do differently? A lot of you said travel, which is probably how you found us, right? YouTube knew that and sent you to us. That is your why. Your loves are your why. We love to travel. We love adventure. We love experiencing new things. And we love, doing video production. That's how we met. And so once we said, okay, let's prioritize this, it became very easy to stop eating out. It became very easy to find new ways to take care of housing, transportation, no more new cars.
Yeah, it changed our whole perspective.
Right.
It changed our way of thinking.
Yes, we're eating in more often than we're not, right? Healthcare. I mean, healthcare is healthcare. That is what it is, especially if you have employee-based healthcare insurance, and there's not too much you can do about that. But housing. So there is something that you can do about that, right? Right now, we have decided to downsize. We are renting a place that is much, 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 much smaller than the house that we left in the States, and we're renting out our house. And
it takes adjustment.
Yes, it does.
I mean, but it's the adjustment that, well, first of all, we're in Lisbon, Portugal. Second, so we're where we want to be. But it's different when you leave a big house and then you move somewhere else and it's much, much smaller. Thank God it's just, us two.
Yes, we went through taking up every single closet in a 4-bedroom house with our stuff down to little European wardrobes. Y'all know. Y'all know. So, yes.
Dual sinks in the kitchen, because, American kitchens, they've got both sinks and they're huge to a smaller sink.
Yeah. I mean, everything is just different. And so, those are some of the sacrifices, right? Not spending as much money.
They are, but
it doesn't feel like a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice because we're enjoying where we are. walking around and just exploring this place. Oh my God. It's like, wow.
Yeah, we're okay. So Action VJ, we heard you. We are filming stuff, and we will bring you some behind the scenes. We will bring you content on what we see out there walking around. We realized we didn't have any idea where we lived. We were just taking the metro, going places, and then getting off and coming back here. We walked around yesterday and we're like, oh, that park is right here. I thought it was like 3 miles, 4
We
miles
thought
away.
we were miles away from home when we got off the metro.
Yeah.
You know, because you're underground. Next thing you know, you come out and say, oh, wow, this is an awesome park with an awesome, awesome fountain. I mean, just massive fountain that you
Yeah.
can go on top of and look. And we got footage of it. But then turn around and looked around, and it was like,
Wait a minute.
isn't that the water tower over where
We live right there.
Come to find out, it was a 20-minute walk away from
20-minute walk.
home.
So one of the things about European cities is that, you know, a lot of American cities are built on a grid, right? North, south, or east, west, right? And you can find things based upon the address. In Denver, the streets going one way are even in alphabetical order. So you always know how far away you are from a street. But here, I think they were built around churches, you know, the original streets. And then kind of going out from there, the church as the hub. And so these windy, twisty roads, I don't know. I like, what direction are we facing? I don't know. I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where we are.
Yeah.
So this has been an adventure. So you've got needs. We've got what you love. That's your why. The third thing you have are your likes.
Your likes. Things that bring you joy for about 6 months.
This iWatch, for instance. Ooh, new gadget, right? $400 later.
Yeah.
$400 later. So, and you know, if that brings you love, joy, and it's in your budget, or it's part of that 20% that you're spending on hell yeah stuff, then, you know, go for it. If it brings you joy.
Yes.
But for a lot of us, the joy evaporates after 5 or 6 months, and then it's just a thing.
Yeah.
And then was it really worth it when it took you away from your goal or made it so that you had to work one more day? There's a calculator that we have in our Ready to Retire toolkit that tells you about the real cost of things, and it measures it in terms of time, freedom. If you bought this thing, how many more days would you have to work? Or how many more days of freedom would you have to give up?
Yeah, it makes you look at things differently.
It makes you look at things differently, right? And then the last thing are
Your
wants.
Yeah, the wants, things that bring you joy for 24 hours
or less. When you're on Amazon, whether it's on your phone or on your laptop, and you're like, add it to the basket, add it to the basket, add it to the basket.
It's
right?
too easy. They make it too easy.
They really do. They really do. And you make that person like, and then it arrives, and then you get another, and then a couple of days later, you've forgotten about it, and you're back on Amazon again. What do I need? What do I need?
Kids at Christmas.
Yeah. Right. My son I'd buy all these toys, and he would take the boxes and make a fort.
We all did that. Yeah.
The toys were left aside, and then get a pot and a pan and start I mean, all of that money spent. So you've got needs. Nothing you can do about that. You've got what you love. That's your why. That is your why. That is why you are putting money aside. That is why you are sacrificing some of those likes and some of those wants so that you can get to what you love.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you think about what we just said in analyzing your spending, categorizing your spending so that you can start eliminating some of those wants and some of those likes? Do you find yourself spending money without thinking about it? There is abundance. Money flows, but sometimes you have to do stuff to get it, like go to work. And if you don't want to do that, then you should probably spend less money. Where was it? Okay, there it is. Greta was saying, I checked my Social Security payouts. I'm thinking of taking it at 62, provided I'm living abroad. Better to wait, but I don't want to wait until I'm 67 or 70. I don't blame you.
No.
I don't blame you. I had someone telling me to wait, to keep working and wait to take my retirement until I was 67 years old. 10 years from now?
Yeah. For what?
For what? For 8% more or whatever it is? Y'all. Any of you who are at Exodus Summit know that there is a better way. I am getting a pedicure. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If you were at Exodus Summit, you know what I'm talking about. In the process of getting a visa appointment, been trying all last week. Giving up is not an option.
Do not give up.
Do not give up. So, Kay, I'm not sure which office you're going to. I know this is off topic, but I know San Francisco was releasing new dates every month. So if they're still doing that, that might be why. Okay, so La Cubana, I will get back to your question. I want to know what you think about, and if you are analyzing your spending right now, and if so, what are you finding? What are you cutting out? You know, Paula Pant says you can afford anything, just not everything. And so for us, what we gave up is blind shopping. Nordstrom Rack was my home away from home. My home away from home. Because, you know, I have to look cute at work, right? And so dresses, oh, but it's on sale. And then I need some black pumps and some blue pumps and some green pumps and pumps to go with this and boots to go with that and da 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 da. I am now down to so few shoes that they fit on one shelf, basically, except for the boots because they're too tall. And I went from
she had a lot of shoes.
Not as many as you. I had about 8 pairs of boots. My husband had more shoes than I. He's talking smack.
Well, I had to work, so I work shoes.
Right. I had about 8 pairs of boots. I'm down to 2 pair.
Yeah, I think I had like
and guess what?
10 or 12 pairs of tennis
Could I
shoes.
sell those boots? Selling those boots, those very expensive boots, selling them and what I could get from them on Poshmark or something was not even worth it, y'all. It was not even worth it. It's like, you know what? This is just going to keep me here longer. I'm out. So
I did bring my tennis shoes with me, though.
Yes.
Most of them.
So let me, I am so far behind in the chat. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Okay. Tried both Denver and Portland. Both told me they were scheduling local residents. Which are you trying to get to Mexico? Because Denver doesn't have. So maybe it's Mexico that you're trying, which is interesting because we got into Denver right away. But, well, kind of right away. She called me back right away to schedule me about 4 weeks out. So there you go. I will be saving 100% of that petty money. Inside joke, y'all. I stopped the frivolous spending months ago, doing very well with it. Congrats, good. Auntie Trey. Yes, good. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize.
Feed is ready.
Hey, Nubia Nat, good to see you. Thank you. At least I only have to negotiate with myself. So much easier for me. Yes. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I understand. Inside joke. So, all right. I'm currently throwing money into my old car because I just do not want a car payment. I don't want any long-lasting financial responsibilities, right? Yeah. I mean, you know, if you still got a couple of years, you know, you've got to make a decision on whether it's worth it, or could you sell it and then buy something that is, you know, not falling apart or whatever. My car was falling apart. It was nickel and diming me.
And if you really do have to go out and buy another car, I know you don't want to, go to a car broker. Don't go to a dealership.
Do not go to a dealership. No. That's not what we're going to do. So step 1 was ask yourself, if money was not an issue, what would you be doing differently right now today? Take time, think about it, write it down. I had posted on my mirror, I am certain that Rick and I are living abroad and are financially independent. I posted that about a year ago and it stayed on my mirror. I looked at it every day. There was no question about what we would do differently if we had Oprah Winfrey money.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, right? So step 1, if you had Oprah Winfrey money, what would you do differently? Number 2, analyze your spending and separate it between necessities, right? What you need, what you love. We love to travel.
Yeah.
What you want and what you like. Okay. Likes and wants. That's just temporary. That's temporary. And usually what we do, you know, if you're trying to justify the stuff in your head, it's probably not something that you should spend.
Something that you really need.
So one of the things that one of our clients was doing was putting it in the cart and then waiting for a week before hitting purchase to see if they would change their mind. And if they changed their mind and they weren't as excited about it a week later, then they wouldn't buy it. So if you're telling yourself, but I work so hard, I deserve this, then maybe it's not something that you should have, or I'm expected. How much stuff did we buy based upon our expectations of how we should show up in the world, or other folks' expectations of how we should show up in the world? I deserve this Tesla, right? I'm expected to drive a Tesla, or I'm expected to drive a Mercedes because I'm doing whoop-de-whoop-de-woo.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Step 3. Decide and allocate a certain amount of money for the stuff that you love, for that love, And so for us, it was 60%.
Yes.
60% of our take-home pay, 60% of our income, period, went straight into our retirement accounts off the top. And then we took another chunk and put it maxing out our IRA, and another chunk automatically going into our brokerage account every month without fail. And we still have that chunk going into our IRA and our brokerage account. So that means the one Social Security check that we are living off of, because the 2-year emergency fund that we set aside, that 2 years of FU money that we set aside, we are trying not to touch
it,
or to touch it as little as possible for our investments or something like that. And so one Social Security check, that's what we were living off of. We're going to tell you how much we've had to dip in for these last 2 months in November, because I haven't added up. October's not over. So, so we will know. But really knowing what we want to do and knowing that we made it this far and we are here, right, was everything that we needed to know. And so getting that, everything that we needed to do. So getting that extra money taken out for our brokerage account that's still automatically coming out of savings and into our IRA,
right,
with the less money that we are bringing in, y'all, that buys future freedom. Because, right, we don't know what's happening, Putin, I don't know. I just know that we got to be prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So step 3, decide and allocate a certain amount of money to be set aside for your loves. So, all right, team, especially those of you who are in the FIRE over 50, what percentage are you putting aside for your love? What percentage are you putting aside to that future freedom, to your dream life? Let's hear it in the chat. Because we know what Trey's going to be doing. We know what she's going to be doing. Yes, Mexico. Okay, Kay.
Yeah.
Well, once you do, the good part about it, unlike Portugal, you get approved on the spot. Right? When you walk out, oh, I got residency. And it's a done deal. So we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Everything right then and there.
Yep. Keep trying, because it's an easy process once you get that appointment. All right. So I will go back while you guys are putting that in the chat and answer a few questions. So Mexico, do you have temporary or permanent residency?
We have permanent.
And
we went for temporary.
We went for temporary, and she gave us permanent because, we are blessed and highly favored. Hey, I'm Karen Louise. I didn't see you in there. Good to see you.
Hey, Karen Louise.
My last few years are now spent downsizing and being more intentional in what I really need. Yes, Americans have too much stuff that they just don't need.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Y'all, you guys remember all of those DVDs that I had to give away. I'm telling you. All right. Didn't you find that socializing usurped a lot of money pre-retirement? And then more so since there is so much time to socialize and spend money. So that's interesting. We have a friend who loves to go to expensive restaurants.
Yes.
Here in Portugal. And so I was quoting my girl Kiki of the Upgrade. I said, baby girl, She knows that we are on the team FI, right? Financial independence. I said, we know how to act our wage.
Yeah,
No,
you
we
have
cannot
to.
go to dinner with you.
You have to.
But I will be more than happy to cook dinner and invite you over. How about that? So we can break bread.
Yeah.
I will cook dinner and we can have dinner together. But we ain't going out spending another $50 or €50 on dinner.
Yeah.
We're just not.
It's not necessary
We're just
to
not.
do that.
So yeah. And, happy hours. Going to work costs money.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we've already talked about that, right? You have to have clothes. Your hair's got to be did. Makeup. Oh my gosh. The Mac store got so much of my money. Right. And then
They should have gave you stock.
Tell me about it. And then, you're in a rush in the morning, so you don't pack lunch, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So yes. Thank you for the super chat. So yes, pre-retirement, socializing. Again, we were spending that money. And restaurants in the United States are so expensive. Well, there are restaurants here in our neighborhood where, a sandwich like a hamburger or grilled chicken sandwich or grilled pork sandwich, fries, and a drink, anywhere from €3.50 to $5.50.
Yeah. Yeah. Very affordable.
And they taste good.
Oh, yeah.
And it's fresh. So, yeah.
Who gave us a super
So
chat?
we're going to go down and we're going to see and put it on the screen. There it is. Dr. Phil.
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
Again, thank you. Having German brunch in San Francisco. Greetings from the city. Thumbs up to everyone. Thank you. As y'all know, our super chat money, our super thanks money goes into our scholarship fund. We are going to be rolling out a 7-day challenge in November. We're not going to tell you what it's about right now. But if you have gone to Beyond the Bling, then you already know. But if you haven't, and we're not going to say how we're going to pick who's going to get the scholarship yet, because we haven't figured it out, just to be perfectly honest. But it has been set aside in the bank, and so thank you. The community thanks you, because as we were talking about at the top, right? We know folks who I don't want to say are stuck on stupid, because that was me. I was stuck on stupid for a long time, but just stuck in that grind and not seeing a way out. And so whatever we can do to help folks do what we did, we are all about that.
We want to see everybody do and live their best dreams.
Yes.
Live your best life. You only get one.
You only get one. Agree. We have way too much stuff. I just downsized and feel like I haven't downsized enough. When we were trying to shove everything in those 7 suitcases to get here, after 2 years of downsizing, I was on the Marie Kondo thing for a while before I even knew this life was possible. So that's why I was decluttering and stuff way before we made this decision. So Monica says she sold her 216 Highlander, used proceeds to pay off debt, and bought a used 2002 Hyundai with 43,000 miles on it.
That's good.
Right? I use this auto to drive in her hometown, I think, we'll use when I come home to visit in California. Okay, got it. Yes. I stopped caring what people thought about the car I drove after I gave up the Jag, right? Gave it up. So do me a favor. If you are responding to what I've asked you to respond to, put a Q in front of it, just like you were asking a question. It just makes it easier because I know you all are talking to each other as well. So Kay says, yep, leaving next year is the goal. I can buy stuff later if I need it. I'm telling you. Okay, so Kay says 65 to 70%. You go, girl.
Rocking.
Yes. Is anybody else willing to try? Auntie Trey, I had the card before starting FIRE while in the USA. It works. I love it. Yes. Anytime I see fire in the thing, I'm going to put that up on the screen. So love it. Act your wage. Right. Kiki is so funny. I love her. So she's a lot young. She's young enough to be my child, but I learned from her. I love when I see young people who are so much smarter than I was at that age. Hello, first timer. Hello, welcome,
Hello.
LP. I also am getting my budget numbers on paper with plans to live on my retirement budget before I retire to see what works and what doesn't. Yes. Now I'm going to be straight with y'all. We could not have done this in Denver. We just couldn't. We just couldn't. When we were back there and seeing those prices, it was out of control. Now we might have been able to do it in some other place in the United States if we had chosen to stay, but it was nearly impossible in Denver. So let's see, what do we have?
La Cubana.
I'm much older than all of you, and trust me, start now. I don't know if you're older than all of us. I worked 40 years. I'm good with money, and I can buy what I want. However, don't do what I did. So what did you do? What did you do, La Cubana? Inquiring minds want to know. So Deborah says, what's the amount you can have in your bank account without being taxed? I know Colombia will let you have 7,000 in your bank account. If it goes over, you have to pay taxes on the amount over 7,000. So here in Portugal, I have no idea. I'm going to get a tax person. I've been inquiring and reaching out for taxes. So anybody who's interested in Portugal, will probably talk about that in the private Facebook group, because everyone who's watching is not necessarily interested in Portugal. So I don't know, but I do know that if you have more than $10,000 in a foreign bank with the countries that are that have an agreement with the United States, right,
Yes.
they're going to report it. They're going to report it. And so, I mean, to me, it's kind of silly because the $10,000 was in the bank in the United States and we just transferred it.
But I wasn't something that if you lived in Portugal or something like that, they wouldn't tax you for a certain amount of time or something like that.
So, well, yes, on the D7 visa, yes, you still have to pay taxes. They do not tax passive income, as in, they don't tax passive income for the D7 visa people. But they do tax pensions and Social Security, 10%. So that has to be budgeted in, as well as income from other sources can be taxed at as high as 20% if you get on the non-residential thingy bob. I don't know. Anyway, so there's
We are looking for an attorney, a tax attorney to have on so they can answer those type of questions.
Yeah, you're right. Americans have too much stuff. A friend helped me send 14 boxes of clothes and shoes to orphanage in Africa. That's probably what I should have done, especially with the nice stuff. I gave away suits. He gave away suits. They saw us coming. So, bags and bags and bags and bags. So yes, eating lunch is my downfall. I work next door to a great Asian restaurant, so I try.
That could be very, very hard.
My thing is ramen. Oh my gosh, my vice was that damn Mac store, and it's expensive. Over half of my salary goes to savings and retirement.
Good.
I purchase my beauty products when I get discounts during the holidays or with gift cards. There you go, KB.
There you go.
See, I wasn't that smart, y'all. I was not. How do I contribute to the fund like the gentleman in San Francisco? Oh, so down below, you guys should see underneath the chat box, there should be a $sign. We're using a third-party app called StreamYard, so I cannot see what you see, but I know because I've done it before. There should be a little box with a $sign, and then you click that, and then it lets you pick between a sticker or whatever, and that's how you can do it. So thank you for asking that question. Why are we so afraid to let go of the junk? So we were talking to someone yesterday, and they were talking about their mom. He didn't say she was a hoarder, but she was addicted to QVC, Home Shopping Network, or whatever. And so the spare bedrooms in the house, a traditional kind of suburban house, he said, were filled to the ceiling with brand new stuff. It's still in the boxes. And his mom, who is much, much older, right? Probably great grandma age, she's not able to enjoy all of this stuff, but she wants to see the stuff from time to time. Let me just look at it. Now, in my opinion, that's kind of a thing about the folks who were born during the Great Depression, because my dad got the same way.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like he did not want to let go of anything. And the thing about it is with stuff, you know how we say, that girl's got a lot of baggage. Stuff is baggage too.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to travel. Stuff is baggage. And owning all of that stuff, then you've got to have a place for all that stuff. And then you've got stuff in storage and just stuff. I don't know. If I had unlimited money, I would retire and travel the world. I love it. And so that's what we're doing. We're in Portugal now. We're going to travel around Portugal, but we do the house sitting thing. So we were looking at house sits in Spain. Yeah. We were looking at house sits on Madeira Island, in France, and just basically right around here where we can get back and forth pretty quickly.
And I was going to say, you don't have to wait until you have unlimited money.
No,
you do not have to wait.
No, because we don't have Oprah Winfrey money,
no.
Right? You just have to figure out your spending, right? Figure out your spending and decide what to allocate, because we believe in the unbudget. I am not the one, y'all, living life on my terms, doing the travel thing, going out and just trying to get lost in Lisbon or Portugal or whatever does not include, okay, so $5.50 on this lunch and $3.20 on that and $8. And so we spent, No. We do the bucket method like grandma used to do the envelopes. Our savings come straight off the top, so we don't have to worry about that. We know we're meeting those financial goals because it goes straight in. And then after that, we rent, and utilities get paid off the top, and the rest is ours. So I'm not, when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's never gone.
But you find out you don't really need a whole lot, depending on where you are. I mean, yeah, it makes a difference being here than in the United States because of cost and everything like that. So,
yeah. I mean, like we said, you get that plate of the day or, hamburgers. I did not realize how much Portuguese love pizza and hamburgers. You can find them everywhere. We found a butcher yesterday wandering around. Y'all. Okay, off subject, but I just have to tell you.
She fell in love with the butcher.
This butcher. And so the bacon here that you get in the package is sliced almost as thin as like prosciutto. And so it cooks weird and you end up burning it and So we got some specially cut bacon from the butcher, and y'all, I was in my happy space. So yeah, it doesn't take a lot. And a big thing of bacon, it was €2.64. €2.64. When I went to Costco, they were selling bacon in the package for $5 a pack.
Yeah.
$5 a pack. So the dream would be to serve and live in Italy for language immersion and vocal coaching. When you say vocal coaching, do you mean singing, F doctor, or speaking, or what? I'd love to know. In the meantime, want to focus on paying off debts, saving, and completing the PhD program. I love it. And if you are not on a full ride scholarship, searching for some, if you've got another year, searching for some scholarships so that that is not part of your debt. Y'all know that when we retired, I still had a student loan from grad school. I can't remember, $35,000 or something like that was owed. So I did changed my income in the system and went on, I can't remember what it's called, losing my words right now, but basically income-based payoff or payback, whatever. So filled out the form, did the thing, and y'all know my payments today are
$0.
Love it. Okay. I did the same, making soap and eating
soup.
Oh. Making soup and eating it for 4 days, 75% of income was saved before I made money in the market. I love 75% of income, y'all. That is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I that was my goal because our rich journey was saving 70%. So yeah, 70% was our goal. We did not get there. We did not get there. But 60% was enough to do what we need to do. All right. Ivy Sapphire. It looks like a new name.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. Thank you. I'm excited about the possibility of my future retirement. I'm 47 and planning 2 possible futures, retiring early or at 62 with full pension and more in TSP. What's TSP? Do you know that?
No.
It's probably obvious and I probably should know it, but I don't. But congratulations.
Tell us what TSP is.
Yes.
Refresh
Full
our memory.
pension. I don't know. I want to put that back up. Tomorrow's not promised. However, we don't like leaving money on the table either. But you're only 47, baby girl. Or Ivy, I believe is a girl. I wouldn't wait. I would not wait. America's too crazy. I would not wait. But you know your situation better than I and how you like to live. Like some people want the fat life. Some people like the bling. Like Rashida does not make any, Rashida Dow, she's on the loose. She does not make any qualms. She loves bright, shiny things. She says it all the time. She's still got her stuff in storage. She's paying for that. If that brings you joy, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. So, I've budgeted for 40%. I will recalculate after I move to my new job and retire from my last. All right, 40%. That's excellent. Excellent. Okay, catching up here. Isn't a pension passive? I know, right? Well, passive income like dividends and stuff like that. So any dividend income or stuff like that, they're not taxing. So at first, D7 got 100% for 10 years, no taxes. When we first started studying this, we should have done it then. So for all of you who are waiting, Ivy, things change. And, right now we hear rumor and we will confirm that if you are still working, like you're working remotely or something like that, they will not give you a D7 visa. It is only for pensioners. Things change. They're starting people should try for the D2, and they have a digital nomad visa that they're coming out with as well, or they've already come out with just recently. So
yeah, things change daily.
They do. So Greta asks, I've started investing my Roth 401k along with my traditional 401k, yay, for my company, preparing for the CD stacking when it's time. Hashtag our rich journey. Yes. So, and Greta is putting some amazing articles and things in our Facebook group. So if y'all have not joined, if you are from the diaspora, and you don't have to be over 50. You do not have to be. You just have to be. I thought I had put this up there. You just have to be interested in retiring. Earlier than 67. I think is the age now that they're starting to give. Folks who are younger than us having to wait until they're 67. It's just nonsense. So yeah, definitely, it is Our Black Utopia. F.i.r.e. over 50. Question, does Portugal tax your pension? Yes. So we talked about that. So yeah, love. But we're not paying taxes in the States. Rick said, stop buying stuff. Way after I did that, I took $50,000 and invested it in the market, and I never looked back. Yes. Which is what we did. So step 1, if you had Oprah Winfrey money, figure out your why. What would you do differently? And that is your love, right? You want to analyze your spending, break it up into needs, love, likes, and wants. Step 3, decide how much you're going to allocate towards your love. And then I kind of gave step 4 away with creating the unbudget. Yeah. And I talked about the 50-30-20 rule. Yeah,
that Elizabeth Warren is going to be pissed off with you about. But hey, she'll get over it.
She'll get over it. She will get over it. We allocate our love money. So that was step 4. Create the unbudget. The unbudget means you just take your love money, what you want to save, off of the top. off the top. You don't see it. You don't touch it. You see people in the chat talking about 40%, 60%, 75%. Rick and I were at 60% off the top. Set aside necessity money in your envelope. I love Ally for that because they have the buckets. The rest, spend how you want, pay off debt, etc., etc. Got it? Step 5. This is the last one, y'all. This is the last one.
Step 5 is getting rich. You got to own stuff.
Yeah, but not stuff. Well, I guess I could trade this in for money. For all of those folks who are my age, remember when we used to wear chains, all those chains back in the 70s and 80s? I still had all of that stuff, broken chains, clasps, and all of this stuff. I put it in a bag, sent it to my cousin who is a gold broker. I got a whopping 200 and something bucks. Whew. So when we say own stuff, what are we talking about, love?
You got to own stock, own a business, so you can start creating your wealth, doing different things, side hustles. And the biggest thing is owning real estate.
So I don't know if that's the biggest thing.
To me, it is.
Okay.
Because houses are big.
The best thing about owning real estate is it takes less money for more equity, right? Like, so if you, and this is what Aman explained, and I just love it. So I'm going to repeat it, of our rich journey. So if I have $20,000 and I buy $200,000 house, we are gaining equity on the $200,000 worth of house, not just on the $20,000. Right. But if I buy $20,000 worth of stock, we are only gaining money on the 20,000. Right. So from that standpoint, yes, I agree with you. Real estate is great, but everybody doesn't want to be a landlord.
That's true.
But if you want to get rich quicker, business. To me, real estate and stock is for the long haul. That's long, slow money.
Yeah, stock is definitely long.
Slow money, right? Now, rental income through real estate can give you quick money, but then that's a business.
Yeah.
Right? That becomes a business because now you're a landlord and you've got to set up systems and all of that. If it's just the house that you had and it's just the one rental income, then, maybe not. Maybe you don't have to look at that as a business. But starting a business is the quickest way, or a side hustle that turns into a business, however you want to look at it, is the quickest way to quick, big money. And y'all, we are living in a time where it has never been easier to make money and to sell to the world. I am always amazed when I go into the analytics and I see people watching from Australia, from Croatia, from Germany, from France. I mean, from all of these places, some of these places we've never even been to.
Yeah.
From places in Asia, right? As well, obviously the majority are from the United States, but it is amazing. And when we were doing film and television and stuff way back in the day, we could never have imagined to be able to come to y'all live directly to you and talk to folks all over the world. It has never been easier, and the internet makes it so much easier to sell to the world.
Yeah.
So
makes the world a whole lot smaller.
Yes. If you know a Black woman, well, at this point, it doesn't really matter. I don't know. What do you think, Anita? What do you think, Greta? I'm just saying, go buy Exodus Summit, this year's Exodus Summit, Making Move Abroad Money, because those women brought in speakers that were giving us ideas on how to make money without working yourself to the bone. We're not talking about buying a franchise where you have to be there every day and have these employees who may be stealing from you and the margin is this small and you've hawked your house to get it and all this stuff. We're not talking about going into debt to start a business because we don't believe in that. Yeah. And life is too short and we got stuff to do.
And I was looking at Energy today, a young lady.
I love Energy.
Oh my God.
ENERGI. Again, young enough to be our granddaughter almost. And so smart.
The things that she was putting out, the side hustles and the different things, very simple to do. You don't even have to be an artist to do half this stuff, to put things together, because there's so many programs out there
to help you.
Yeah. And you can do all kind of stuff. So if you get a chance, check out Energy. She is an amazing young lady.
She
Truly.
is. She
And
is.
she travels the world.
Yes.
I've been trying to get, my daughter, one of my daughters, to really, really check her out and, listen, because she's good.
But as we said at the top, our family doesn't always listen to us.
Yeah.
They're not watching. Are they watching right now? No, they're not. But we did lose a family member. So that's one of the reasons we did lose a family member. And so when you move abroad, these are some of the things this is the cost. This is the cost. We will not be at the funeral. We could not go visit her when she was in hospice. And so
I did get to talk to her on her birthday.
Yes, we did talk to her.
I never missed her birthday. And actually, when we were here
in Portugal in
June, I called her from here and talked to her.
Yes.
So.
Hey, Margaret, glad you made it. Vicky, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, as we said, all of our super chat money goes to our scholarship fund so that someone who wants to get their financial act together but does not have the money to pay can get a scholarship. So I love it. So we've got our 5 steps, folks. We have got our 5 steps. We're going to start from the beginning. Step 1, you got to find your why. This was the key because this thing will tell your pocket that you need to spend to feel good. It's like a drug. It is like a drug. But you know what else is like a drug? Having a dream and seeing yourself get closer to it. That is addicting and will bring you just as much joy as that bling that you are about to hit buy on. Seriously. So if you had Oprah Winfrey money, what would you do differently? That is step 1. Step 2, evaluate how much and why you spend on the things other than necessities.
Yes.
I've been so transparent with you guys. I told you, I got a dress made from scratch to impress someone I can't stand.
She's telling the truth.
Right? Like, ooh, I bet you when she sees me in this, she would whoop de whoop, whatever the nonsense that was going through my head that relieved me of that money.
And you know what? Nobody cares.
No one cares. No one cares, right? So you want to separate your needs and your loves from the wants and the likes. The wants and the likes are that temporary fix that you get when you buy something new, and then it dissipates so fast that it's like you never spent the money. So then you need another fix, and you need another fix, and you need another fix. And that's not what we want to do, right? Step 3, decide and allocate a certain amount of money to go towards your love, towards your why. For us, it was travel and being able to do what we're doing right now. I mean, we're not making any money off of this. This is what's so funny, but we are having so much fun.
So much fun.
Right?
Enjoying ourselves.
Yes. Hopefully it shows, because every time it's 8:30, 9:30 at night here. And when we get up, we can't get to sleep. We're talking about it. We're talking about you guys and what we want to bring next. And we have to, it takes us a while just to come down. Y'all do that for us. So, that's why we love you and we thank you.
This is the tribe. This is the,
and right.
What's another word?
So all I know is we're doing the damn thing. We're doing the damn thing. And so because we're doing it now, the twin Teslas that we gave up, do you miss them?
No,
because we'd still be in Colorado driving them damn Teslas, trying to figure out how we're going to sell them, get out of that loan so we could be here in Lisbon, Portugal.
I don't miss them.
I don't miss them. My shopping sprees at Nordstrom Rack, I don't miss, because this is what I wanted, to live someplace else, to be that, who are the famous people who moved abroad, right? Baker or Josephine Baker or whatever. Since I was a little girl, I just never thought that this could be a reality.
Yeah. So
we stopped with the Tesla stuff and the bling bling stuff, and we put that money towards our love and we invested it. So step 3, decide that certain amount and then create your own budget, scrape it off the top and figure out a system so you can make sure that you don't have more month than money, right? and that you are moving faster towards your goals. And then the fifth one is make that money. Make that money. The only way to gain wealth is to own things, not bling.
Yeah, not little things that make you happy for 24 hours.
Right, but own stock,
real estate, and business. Have your own business.
Have your own business, right? And the quick money, business. Exodus Summit. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm getting a pedicure, y'all. I'm getting a pedicure. All right. So I just want to give a shout out to Margaret. Thank you, Margaret, for the super chat.
I think it's Marguerite.
Is it Marguerite? Yeah. Oh, yes, it is. And is it Kello? Is it Kello? It looks like Kello. We have a friend named Kello, but it's an African name, so spelled much differently.
No,
but I think it's
Kello.
No, I don't think it's Kello. I don't think it's Spanish.
No, just one of them.
Oh, okay. So Marguerite, thank you for the super chat. Goes into our scholarship fund. We so appreciate you. So La Cubana asked, have you seen the Silver Coast? I want to buy there and live. No, but I met someone last night who lives up there. She and her husband have a place up there. And so we've got folks, we've got two folks who live up there because it's up north from us. And so we're going to show you. And we haven't been there yet. We've got so much.
We got Our Rich Journey.
Well, of course. Yes. But they're kind of like stars, and I don't want to stalk them. So they haven't invited us to their house, but the other folks have. So Chandra asks, I'm 50 and living like a college student. My biggest bills are for personal trainer and food. So I hope that you're not eating top ramen. But other than that, right? We really just don't need that much stuff, that much space or anything else. We never thought that we'd have a 3-bedroom apartment. As a matter of fact, okay, pulling back the curtain. When we were here in Europe in 2018, the beds were really small. At home in Denver, well, that's not home anymore. Back in Denver, we had a king-size bed. I started sleeping really close to Rick because I'm like, we need to get used to having a smaller bed, smaller space right now. So I'm and he gets hot.
Invading my space.
Yeah, he gets really hot at night. So I would, be up next to him. And then what? God blessed us with a king-size bed. So I'm back. I'm back with my space and keeping it cool.
Oh, Southern Rose told us what TSP was.
Oh, great. IDR, income-driven repayment. No, that's IDR. That's not the same thing.
The next one down.
Oh, okay.
I'm reading ahead.
Thrift savings plan. Huh. I've never heard that. I'm learning from y'all. I am learning from y'all. So TSP is 401k.
Yeah, retirement account.
It's a retirement account based in Canada. Okay. We know we have folks watching from Canada. So sorry for that. Sorry for my lack of knowledge. 75% #goals. Right there, Vanessa. Right there. Do it. Do it. Yes, I believe you're right. Y'all are answering my question. No, it's not Canadian. Okay. Crypto fan. How you doing in that crypto? I'm not throwing shade. It's an honest question. Seriously, I don't get it. I don't understand it. And that's why we're only invested this much.
Yeah, enlighten us.
Yeah, definitely.
Always willing to learn.
It's not possible to save, but it's hard when your rent takes over half of your income. House hacking.
Yes, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
House hacking. So Nubianette, how can you get that down? How can you get that down without making yourself miserable? Can you move to another place? Can you move to a bigger place and get a roommate? I don't know, but half your income. Ooh, Lord.
Unless that's what makes you happy.
No, I know that's not what makes her happy.
But
I know. I was right. I was relying on the 10 years of no tax in Portugal. Yesterday's prices are not tomorrow's prices. I'm sorry, Cassandra. If you are just living off of dividends, you got it so far. It's not going to, that part's not going away. But if you are going to be living on a pension, Social Security, something like that, that's gone. The people who were here got grandfathered in, but no one else. What is the amount you need for residency with a pension? So here in Portugal, you need their minimum wage. And 3 months or so of their minimum wage in a bank, or 3 months worth of your living expenses. Excuse me. So if you rent an apartment, say for $1,000 a month, you'd have to have less in that account than if you rented $2,000 a month apartment, and they will know because you have to turn that in as well. So their minimum wage is about 700 or 800 euro per month.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
so it's not a lot.
I've heard different.
No, I read it. It's not a lot. It's between $700 and $800. So right on the D7, right on D7 is good if there's not enough to put into supporting Portugal. I'm not sure I understand that statement, babe. Anyone have requirements for Mexican residency? We have a video. So we did a video called "Getting Residency in two countries at the same time," because that's what we did. We did it about 7 weeks ago. So yeah, BP, go to our after this, go to our channel, and then I think we're doing this or this. I don't know, but you'll see Portugal and Mexico on there, and we give all of the criteria for Mexico. But here's the thing, and we state this in the video. For Mexico, consulate to consulate, it depends.
It depends.
So in Denver was much less expensive than trying to get residency out of Miami, for instance. So shop around wherever you are. In the States, shop around the different states and see what their requirements are so that you can get that taken care of. Yes, shout out to Our Rich Journey for great investing info, and my girl Adelia, right? These are my heroes. We never heard of FIRE before Our Rich Journey. We are here in Portugal living the way we are living because of Christina and Aman, because they got us started on this journey. Mm-hmm. So thank you, Christina and Aman from Our Rich Journey. Seriously, folks. How do you plan for retirement account conversions to Roth accounts pre-retirement, or does that not matter? It depends. I can't decide if it's a delay to retirement and a waste of time. So it depends on your age, but you know that you avoid some penalties if you transfer money from a pre-tax account to an after-tax account and you let it sit in that after-tax account for 5 years. Then you can access that money without penalty. I do believe, though, and we're not financial advisors, but educators, which is better because we're free. So I do believe that you are taxed, though, when you make that transfer. So you have to take that into consideration. But yeah. Okay, looking for other questions because we got our 5 steps, y'all. 5 steps to get unstuck and live your dream life. Question: our dollar is lower than the euro, so buying property may not be good for the buyer. Well, it depends. Right? So yes, today the dollar is 97 cents to 1 euro, or vice versa, however you want to look at it. But the cost of real estate is also less expensive here. Not necessarily all of Lisbon, because people are getting took for real, y'all. They're getting took. But in general, the real estate is less expensive. It's also harder to sell real estate here. Houses stay on the market for a lot longer than they do in the States. I mean, in the States, you can almost sell your house for emergency money in some markets in the States because things are not lasting, even with the higher interest rates. In some markets, this stuff is still flying off the shelf. Right. But here, because of the laws, because of the inheritance laws and everything else, houses do not sell as quickly. They will give you a 100-year loan, basically. So we know that here in Portugal, some folks who are in their 20s are buying properties. They've saved up their 20%, but they get a loan until they're 70. Mm-hmm. And so they're paying, a couple of $100 a month for that payment. Now, of course, what I would do is I'd double that payment and triple that payment so to pay it off as soon as possible. And the rates are still kind of low here, y'all, if you wanted to get a loan. So um, I think it is still worth it. If you are buying in a place where folks like to visit, Exodus Summit, this lady was making buku bucks off of renting out her house on Airbnb just while she was on vacation.
Yeah.
Right? So I think her lowest year was like 30,000 for the year, only while she was on vacation. Her highest year was 100,000, just Airbnb her house, like that's a verb now, while she was on vacation, doing short-term rentals while she was on vacation. So, right, Greta? That was Anita, and then Greta was right underneath
Greta was
it.
right under
There, that's what it was. So yes, y'all, I'm telling you, energy. Yes, that's her name. She's a young lady. She's under 28 years old. She's been traveling since she was 19, traveling the world as a digital nomad since she was 19. And I don't know, one day she woke up and she got her stuff together. Girl's making money, and she's teaching people how to make money. Am so late with this question. No problem. Is the Facebook group accepting new members? Yes. If you are a member of the African diaspora and you want to join the FIRE over 50, Our Black Utopia FIRE over 50, just go ahead and we have to let members in. Here's the thing. If your profile is brand new, it's going to just deny you right off, because usually trolls have brand new ones, and so it'll deny you. If you are setting up a Facebook account just to join our group, send us an email, hello@ourblackutopia.com. I think I have this here. Do I? Nah, of course I don't. hello@ourblackutopia.com is the email address. Oops. Just send that, and then we'll let you in. I'll friend you. I'll do whatever I can do to get you in there and to make it easier. Thank you, Karen Louise. Thank you. Thankfully, she did live a glorious life, a glorious long life, which makes it a bit easier than like my brother-in-law who died during COVID. So question is, buying real estate in Portugal a smart thing to do in the current recession? I want to invest in real estate, but unsure I want to do. Okay. So it depends. Are you going to hold on to the real estate, or are you trying to flip? Flipping is really not a thing here. It kind of is. People have, but those are big buck people. I don't know that flipping is a thing like it is in the States, again, because the market is so different. But if you are in a place where you've got vacationers, tourists, and things like that, short-term rentals are still a thing outside of Lisbon proper and things like that. So from that standpoint, and just rental in general, a friend of ours, they bought a place and they are using it simply to help people get their D7 visa. And so they're renting it out for 3 months to a year at a time, because y'all know to get the D7, you have to have a 1-year lease. So they're doing that, but letting them out of the lease as early as they want, and so that's a way to make money. There are lots of different ways. And that's why we're looking at a building, a whole building where we can control the whole thing, because if we can control the whole thing, then we can decide that one is going to be an Airbnb or short-term rental. So yeah, thank you all for the condolences. Thank you. We do appreciate it. And that's why our daughter Courtney is not on. Y'all know we always give her a shout out. So I'm back to spending on necessities only. Yes, it's time to go. Y'all, he had on the debate between...
for Atlanta, between Walker and
Warnock.
Warnock and Walker.
Oh, is that his name?
Herschel Walker.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I didn't do that when he was winning the Heisman Trophy. I didn't go. But now, yeah. It made me so depressed I had to leave the room.
Yeah, he didn't talk much when he won the trophy. He just played football.
Good, because that's what he has to do. I love the misstep, reveals, and real talk. Y'all know. So relatable. Y'all know. We didn't get our act together until late.
Yeah.
So, happy dance. You are our tribe. All right, y'all, we're going to wrap this up. If you have any more questions, I'm heading down here. If you have any more questions, I'm going to say this 5 steps one more time. Langston Hughes. Yes, he did move abroad, didn't he?
Yep.
Um,
Sure did.
And I do some of Langston Hughes's poems.
What was my boy's name? I'm Not Your Negro. I could see his face.
Okay, you guys know he is an activist and a writer.
He was a writer.
Um,
I could see his face.
I can see his face. He kind of has bulgy eyes.
Yeah.
Help
me, y'all. Help me.
Auntie Trey's niece made $17,000 from that crypto. She must have got in and cashed out, because to me, it seems like a Ponzi scheme. I hate to say that. I don't want to offend anybody. I just truly, truly, truly do not understand it. Wow. Wow, Greta, you are ready to go. I can't wait to see you out here in these international streets. So, Cassandra, question, answer. Bay Area rents are insane, right? And the leases are so sophisticated that hacking is not an option. I thought you were in SoCal. I thought you were in Southern California. I know they do have a lot of restrictions, rent control restrictions and stuff like that, as well as what, putting in your lease whether you can have a roommate or not and things like that, or whether you can do a short-term rental while you're on vacation. Sounds like it's time to move. You're in the Bay Area too. I'm sorry. I cannot stand the Bay Area. I used to like it a little bit expensive. Back when I was a kid, when I was younger, but now it's expensive. It's crowded. And the infrastructure, the way the bridges and the way there's one way in and one way out, or the way you got to go way down south to go across. No. So, question, we may need to consider another country in the Schengen and then get to Portugal eventually. Keep it in mind. Keep it in mind.
Well, you got Spain, and there's other places who we'll probably look at on another video when we do if we do a part 3 of Where to Live, because Courtney had found Virgo, Spain.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
which is right on the border.
Beautiful.
So,
and it's affordable.
Yes.
It really is affordable. But
yes, Killer Queen.
Our daughter, because she's like, ooh.
So I'm not sure what your Social Security or pension is. I know the average American's pension or Social Security is $1,500. There are places in Europe where you can live on $1,500 a month. However, Exodus Summit, y'all. Exodus Summit, get that money. Get that money. Isn't there a $150 increase coming to those on Social Security? Yes. 18%? Did they say, or 8%? Okay, 8%.
Actually, Greta, thank you so much. She posted that on the Facebook.
Yeah, in the Facebook group. That's how I knew.
Greta posted that. Yeah, because I didn't read it. We didn't catch the news on it until the next day when I looked at my news feed on my phone. I was like, oh, there it is.
And I try to avoid the news because, I still have PTSD from doing politics. As a student still trying to get an understanding about PSFL program. However, I heard that there will be some restrictions to receiving forgiveness. Oh, yeah, probably. Hopefully, if you've got a government loan, look in and see at what income can you get a zero payment. So I don't have total forgiveness. I have to reapply for this. So if our side hustle starts making buku bucks that I have to claim, then I might have to start paying again, y'all. So, but I'm going to do whatever I can to not have that money. Setting up a personal, a 401k, a solopreneur 401k, and putting money in there, whatever I have to do, not to give it to Uncle Sam, but we might have to. And maybe it'll be $10 a month. I'm good with that. $15 a month. I'm good with that, right? So, so Greta's answering questions. Here we go. All right, y'all. We're going to wrap this up. If I don't see any more questions, because I'm getting hungry. What are the tax rates in Portugal? Okay. So for us right now on our pension, it's 10% for 10 years. 10 years from now, we'll figure out what we're going to do. You know, they have universal health care here in Portugal. And we're doing a healthcare series at the end of the
November.
month. We've got 3 ladies who have agreed to talk about their healthcare experience here on the channel. And then we're having a healthcare expert come into our private Facebook group and do a private Q&A with us. So, you know, but I tell you, and I say that to say, people in Europe pay a lot of taxes, but they get a lot of benefits. And so if you're Portuguese and you're watching this and you're like, yeah, we pay too many taxes, we get it. We understand. We don't pay a lot of taxes in the United States. And because of that, folks die in poverty. Because of that, people get, you know, booted out of the hospital with IVs and stuff still hooked up. I mean, literally, this stuff is happening in some cities. And so we believe that healthcare should be a right, not something just for the privilege. And so, yeah, taxes are high. And I would say 30, 40%, depending upon what you make. We'll worry about that. We'll worry about that in 10 years because who knows where we'll be or what will be happening 10 years from now. Although Portugal's immigration rules are changing quickly, do you think it's still a good place to move to? Perhaps Portugal doesn't want so many Americans.
It's not just Americans.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Americans or all of this nonsense y'all are hearing. We constantly get people both in person and in the feed saying, we're so happy that you're here. You're adding to our economy. Thank you. So y'all.
Yeah, and it's not just Americans that are moving here. You have British, you have Canadian, you know,
Australian, French, Chinese. So as a matter of fact, the building right next to us, our neighbor told us that every single apartment there is owned by someone who does not live in Portugal, that is not Portuguese, and they're not American either. Dubai, I mean, all over. All right. So it's not, I don't want you to think that it's, you know, welcome to Portugal. Now Americans go home.
We're looked upon being bad because we're moving to Portugal. It's not like that.
No. And what we read in the news and from the few Portuguese folks who comment after the fact and say something that's not so nice, that's not what we're feeling here on the ground. It's not. It's not. I mean, from folks who were serving us, the young lady, and I was trying to pronounce stuff and pronouncing it badly, but she was teaching us when we went to drinks with your former boss, to you know, the people at Serenity and other places that we just meet, our neighbors and everything else. We really have truly felt welcome. And what's so interesting is the neighborhood that we happen to land in happens to be one of the most diverse neighborhoods in Lisbon. And so we've got great Asian restaurants and Indian restaurants and Mediterranean restaurants and everything. So I'm looking for good ramen right now. If y'all know about good ramen in Lisbon, please drop it in the comments. If you're watching from the future, I am on the ramen hunt. But yeah, Karen, you know what? As far as the changes to the rules go, some of that has to do with creating equity insofar as the EU is concerned and their immigration policies. So they went from being desperate to bring new lifeblood money into the country, 15 years ago or so, to now it, stabling out a bit. And so you will see the countries that were not doing so well starting to put a few more hoops in place. One, because politics, right? And if I remember being in the States and hearing about some of the programs that immigrants got who looked down upon us. Well, why aren't you doing A, B, and C? Because that loan was only available for immigrants.
Right.
This tax scheme is only available for folks who have not lived here for 5 years consecutively, not been a tax person for the last 5 years. So I suppose if you came back after being gone for 20 years and came back to Portugal as a citizen, maybe you could get the same tax scheme. So it has nothing to do with the D7 visa and only to do with a tax scheme. So if you are French, you're EU, but you come to move to Portugal, you can do that because the EU folks can do that, right? And then you're getting residency or whatever, you're becoming a tax resident. Even those folks, without doing the D7, even those folks will get that tax scheme. So the two are not necessarily related. And I don't think that Portugal is tired of seeing folks come here. I really don't. As I said, we've felt very, very welcome.
Oh yeah.
So very happy about that. All right. Any more questions? I'm definitely buying to live, maybe Airbnb while I'm traveling. Right? My lady over in Exodus Summit, see, I'm not going to call her home chick because she had it going on. I'm interested in a vacation. What? I'm interested in a vacation home in Portugal where I stay 6 months out of the year. Come on, Cassandra. Come on. Yes. Okay. Is there an ad online saying the Portuguese they want? Yeah. So
there was an article.
It was an article.
We were in LA. We saw.
I think it was in the LA Times.
LA Times, yeah.
As a matter of fact, James Baldwin.
Yes, I just looked it up, and I didn't say anything because you were talking. Yeah, James Baldwin.
Y'all, and Nina Simone.
Thank you.
Oops. And Nina Simone, whom I love. So yeah, thank y'all. And Richard Wright, yes. Every time I see Richard Wright, I used to be an AMEer, and so that I always think that we're talking about the AME Richard Wright, and I don't think that those are the same people. Okay.
Oh, Paul Robeson.
Also, that's right. That's right. I remember reading that. Okay, we are trying to catch up. No, it's not Virgo like the sign. It's like VE. Yeah. Look for it. We'll get it for you. Auntie Trey. Vigo, Spain. That's
there
it.
You go. Vigo, Spain. Yes.
That's it. Thank you, Kathleen. Y'all, I love you guys. Helping each other out. Killer Queen. Everybody. We pay a lot of taxes in the US, but not the wealthy. That's the problem, right? That is the problem. And so there's a way now that, we know that there's the automatic $12,000. There is a way to limit your tax liabilities. It's a lot more easier to figure out and get out of paying taxes because you're not being strategic, not cheating, but working within the system to pay less taxes. What I don't like is that Social Security stops at $250,000. That's what it was. It might have changed. Maybe it's $280 now or whatever. To me, if you are earning income, all of it should be subject to Social Security. All of it should be subject to Medicare. And that way, we really probably could offer universal health care. We know that. Thank you. I believe in Jesus Christ. We do too. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the Chinese, they are coming here and buying up. So question, somebody's calling me. Spam. Boop. All right. Isn't Italy getting as desperate as Portugal for new people? I thought that they were already desperate because Italy and Greece were in trouble. Yeah, I remember they were in financial trouble. And of course, since Putin is doing what Putin's doing and gas is going up, I'm still, I saw someone had put in the comments or maybe the chat, I don't remember, that Portugal had 9% increase as far as inflation goes. I'm not seeing that in the stuff that we buy. Now, their gas is out of control, but it's always been out of control here in Europe. So, but as far as the food stuff that I buy on a regular basis and that we were buying back in June, so from June until October, I'm not seeing a 9% increase. I'm just not. But it could be on stuff that I don't buy. So what about with wine and stuff like that? Is it the same price?
I haven't bought a bottle of wine in a week or so.
No, I mean since June.
No, it doesn't seem like it has.
Yeah. So it seems the less you can live on in Portugal, the less taxes you have to pay. Indeed. That's right. Why listen to the debate in ATL? Why? Right? It's just depressing.
Well, I was watching Roland Martin.
It's
And
depressing. It's depressing to think
it
that
was
someone
sad.
who is so unintelligent could even be a consideration. But after the 45th president, I am not surprised by anything, is the anti-American sentiment for us. So no, Middle Eastern gentleman told me it wasn't us. Wait, I'm Middle Eastern, and I I'm not sure if you're saying you're Middle Eastern.
I'm Middle Eastern gentleman,
and you were told it wasn't us as Americans, or are you? I don't know. I'm assuming you're American, or not us as in not Middle Easterns. Is the anti-American okay? Oh, maybe. Okay, a Middle Eastern gentleman told me it wasn't us. It's not. It's not. I really think what it is that the government did some things without really thinking about the ripple effect and how, like the housing market, for instance, when you are bringing people here who just sold a $500,000 house, and the average apartment here, say at the time, was going for $200,000 or $150,000 for a decent size apartment or flat, then they're going to treat it like American. They're going to say, well, I want this one. I want it so bad. I'll offer you $300,000.
Yeah.
Then people start getting greedy, and the folks who are making Portuguese wages can't necessarily afford it. So we made sure that when we rented this apartment, we paid no more than what he was advertising. So I think we did it, y'all. I'm going to go over these 5 steps again. Step 1, find out your why. If you had Oprah Winfrey money, what would you do differently? Step 2, evaluate how you are spending your money and why. Step 3, decide to allocate a certain amount to what you love, what truly, truly brings your joy, your long-term goal. For us, it was traveling around the world, living abroad. Nothing else as far as stuff goes mattered. And it was so easy to give up those bling bling shoes when I was in that Nordstrom store. So easy. It wasn't even a thought. I'm going to be living in Portugal. I don't need them shoes. Can't walk with them on the cobblestones any doggone way. So step 4, create your unbudget. If you're like me, you don't like, going and itemizing everything. I know he's not going to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm trying to live a life of ease. So I scrape off the top what we need to for savings. We have our necessities coming right out automatically, and the rest is for us to spend. And then step 5, getting rich. The only way to gain wealth is to own property, stock, or own a business. Stock is like owning pieces of a business.
Yeah, it is. You own parts of a company.
Right? Start a side hustle, get our Ready to Retire toolkit. And in there, we have videos on great videos on side hustles. Rick mentioned earlier, Energy, our young lady that I follow, Energy is putting out great videos as well. But yeah, get our Ready to Retire toolkit. If you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like, is this it? Is this all there is to it? I don't know how to get out of this rut. You can. Believe me, you can. And it starts with changing your mindset, having a money mindset makeover.
Got to.
Right? All right, y'all, we did it. What should we do next? So we've got our healthcare coming up. Next week, we're going to be talking with Michelle Wedderburn, and she started a business in Mexico. All right, talking about building wealth. She started a business in Mexico, and it is wonderful. So she will be talking with us next week, and then after that, we'll be talking healthcare. In November, we are running a challenge, a Get Your Money Straight challenge. So if you feel stuck, if you want to get into community, find an accountability partner, get some tips, we're going to go for 7 days straight. It's going to be a 1 week, or 6 days, I'm sorry, a 1 week challenge. The 7th day is going to be the pre-day to do work, so that when we coach you on that first day, you've already done stuff. That will come with coaching, group coaching from me and Rick, 1 hour every single day. We are going to help you turn your situation around like that, and get your money straight. Now, here's a caveat, y'all. It's group coaching, and we will be on camera in a Zoom. We love humanity. We love you. We love you. But you know what I'm going to say? You must be from the diaspora. We love you, but you must be from the diaspora. Why? There is a certain kind of ugliness that is in North America. And if you are from the African diaspora, you know what I'm talking about. And there's certain things that we talk about that only we can understand because only we have gone through it. If you're from the UK or any place else, you felt it too. But I just thank God that you haven't had to feel what we've had to feel, in my opinion. And we want to make it a safe space to talk about these things without gaslighting. I don't know an easier way to put
definitely
it.
No gaslighting.
It is for folks from the diaspora, but we offer coaching every week right here. So if you want to get into that challenge, I'm going to put up the banner so you can get on the wait list, because we have not started registration yet. Get on the wait list for group coaching. And if you need a scholarship, send us an email. hello@ourblackutopia.com. hello@ourblackutopia.com. We love you guys. We love you. Okay. I don't think there's any more questions. So we're going to see you. I'm hungry. I'm going to get something to eat. Make that money and join us in these international streets.
Come and join us.
All right, y'all. See ya.
Be safe out there.
Bye.